demonic angel, and today I will be doing the Two of Swords upright and reversed. And then pretty soon I'm going to do a video of an example of a spread with some of my tips and advice. But so, the Two of Swords obviously is this woman in white with the water behind her, and she is holding the swords in this really rigid pose, very much so portraying her confidence, yet she's blindfolded and such here. So what this card for me really represents is that this woman, or man, but it's kind of like the feminine subconscious aspects of our minds. She has come to this place in her life where she has a decision that represents this. There's two choices to make. You can look at the surrounding cards if you're doing a reading, but it's essentially just, she's trying to choose between one lover or another, one job or another, moving to one city over staying in her hometown. The list really goes on and on, but the idea is that she has she's presented with two choices. So the Two Swords represent like one aspect, which is feeling, and of course the Suit of Swords represents intellection and air. So she, her feelings are different than her rationality and her thinking. And they're at odds with each other. She's weighing both of them, carrying both of them, holding them both equally so. And so she is considering like the depths of her feelings and her emotions and trying to put that against, intellection. And then she really sees all these, so she's blindfolded because there's this, you notice the moon here in the background. There's this element of illusion to this card because she, being blindfolded, doesn't realize how generally still the waters are behind her. I mean, it's a little ruffled, but it's not too bad. It's not like a huge storm's coming in, or there's not even a cloud in the sky. But in her own mind, which is where this whole dilemma is going on, she just doesn't see that ultimately what this person doesn't see is the balance that needs to come between feelings and, air of intellection. So she, like if they're imbalanced, it's really hard to make a good choice because you can't just completely try to rely on, what you think logically and pretend like you don't have feelings about it. Or you can't just be completely somebody who just lets the wind blow them any which way. They succumb to whatever feelings and influence and take that as their own, and without looking at it through a logical aspect, looking at that way. So in order to come to a good decision, she's going to need balance. Now, she is intelligent, and she does have her yellow, little shoes on, representing really her connection with the earth, and ultimately she is subconscious energy, and it's all part of this individuation process. All these tarot cards are. I think we all have been at a point in our lives where we don't know what thing to choose over the other, but then deeper than that, it's like, well, you look at it with your feelings and then you look at it with logic, and you still don't know what to pick. Ultimately, my advice with this card is to just wait. Whatever you're doing, or whatever impasse you're at, it requires a period of being alone and just thinking and balancing out feelings and logic. If those two things are at odds or imbalanced, then a good solution will not be clear. So the reason the answer isn't clear to her is because she is imbalanced. So if you get back in balance, you lose the illusion as represented by the blindfold and the moon, and you get back in harmony. And the number 2 is really sort of this yin yang number, all about balance. And we are, as people, we are, no matter man or woman or aggressive or dominant or submissive, we are all logic and feelings, and we need a balance of these things, or we don't see things clearly. We see them through the lens of an illusion, according to whichever imbalance. So, and then with this 2 of Swords reversed for me is that this your client, or if you're doing this reading for yourself, they have made the wrong decision. They they didn't come back in balance, and so they focused too much on the feelings and what went with what felt better, not really considering what made more practical or financial sense. Or the other end of it could be somebody didn't consider the feelings of the other party, and so they chose this wrong partner, let's say, who is, example would be like aggressive, but they see that as just romantic, because that person just focuses all their feelings, which is actually anger and stuff, onto them, but it makes them feel special because they're getting all of that attention, but it isn't good. So that's really kind of the gist of that card, and that could be applied to, you made the wrong financial decision. When I say wrong, it just means going down the wrong path. You went down the imbalanced way, and you can look at the surrounding cards. Obviously, like if you see something like the Tower nearby, 3 of Swords and stuff like that, that's a real indication that this is a painfully lost time in this person's life. Okay, so but the good news, of course, with the card is she is still confident and grounded, and ultimately, even though she's got these 2 swords pointing opposite directions, she's holding them both equally. If she takes a breath and grounds herself, she can bring these 2 swords together and balance them out and make the best clear decision, blindfold off, no real influence of the moon as represented here in the tarot, kind of, in particular this card meaning illusion. And so yeah, that's just basically what I have to say about 2 of Swords. I really hope this helps. I am still going to do my video for the Marbas ritual really soon. I got this, like, you know how sometimes a virus just makes you really tired, and I had like this sort of scratchy throat instead of coughing and sneezing, etc. That is totally what is going on for me right now, and I feel much better, but it's just this achy virus that just made me, like, it made me feel like almost after a really powerful ritual, just completely drained. So that's why I just threw one of these up for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.